Back to M&M now. They reported a good set of Q2 earnings yesterday. Market share gains both in tractors and in the auto segment. In fact, the farm equipment segment saw its highest ever market share, now standing at 42.5%. Rajesh Jejurikar, Executive Director and CEO of the auto and farm sector at M&M, is with us now. Thank you very much for joining in. It's a good quarter, but there is one issue that's popped up, and that's huge discounting during the festive season. So can you talk about the discounts that we've seen, and will it impact your margins in Q3?
Yeah, hi. So firstly, thanks for having me on the show, and it's good to be with you on the back of a good quarter. We've, like you said, gained a significant market share in the SUV segment as well as in the LCV segment and in the tractors. That was a good quarter with a good, strong growth in profits as well. The margins have been strong. So, the auto margin was at 9.5% in the previous quarter. And at that time, many people were asking a similar question to what you are asking now, that, we've taken some kind of a price correction on XUV700, and what impact is that going to have on the financials, and what impact is that going to have on the margins? And I think the numbers played out well to indicate a strong margin and profit performance. The schemes for us in the festival season have not been anything different than what we've done typically in August or September. Because a lot of the actions that we had to take, for example, XUV700 pricing, were already part of quarter two numbers. So really, without giving a guidance on margin, I don't think we ran any disproportionate schemes in the quarter, in the festival season.
Mr. Jejurikar, good morning. Prashant here, and good to see you. Last couple of interactions, we've been asking you whether you want to raise your tractor guidance, and you were telling us wait. And now you've finally done that, so good. Good to see that. I just wanted a quick sense on sales in the festive period. What have they been like in the passenger vehicle segment and tractors as well? And if you can just sort of isolate the festive sales this time compared to the last one. What's been the growth like?
Yeah, so let me start with tractors, Prashant. So, when we say festival, we typically do a like-to-like, which is a start of Navratri till the Diwali period. The tractor saw and I'm talking about not billing, but offtake. The tractor saw a significant double-digit growth in secondary sales, which is the retail. And the SUV sales were much higher than our billing numbers, and were a significant growth over the same period last year. Of course, we had two significant new launches compared to the last festival, which is the reason I'm not giving a number, because it will seem like something which is abnormally high. We were with XUV300 last year in the festival season. We now have 3XO, which has done extremely well. We also had the new Thar Rocks as a part of the festival this time, which wasn't there last time. So the SUV retails were also exceptionally good. Our dealer stocks, I'm sure that's going to be your next question, Prashant, so I'm just going to address that up front, is at a very healthy level in the SUV side. It is well below 30 days of stock, which is a norm we are comfortable with. And on the tractor side, while we have done some corrections, we do believe we need to do some more corrections which we'll do over the next 4 to 5 months.
Okay. And in passenger vehicles, what was the retail sales growth in the festive period?
Yeah, I just said that
was also double digit.
That number is so high that you will be struck by it, but it's not a like-to-like comparison by way of growth, because we had two new products this year in the festival season, which we didn't have last time. But just giving an indicator to say that the stocks have come down quite significantly. They were not at a level of alarm by any stretch for us, and that has come down to less than 30 days, which is a level of comfort for us.
Okay. You've talked about planned costs related to EVs, which could impact, I think, margins in the near term. I think you said something to this effect in the press conference. What's the overall margin range that you're looking at for the auto and the farm business in FY25?
Yeah, so we don't give a margin guidance, as you know, but just to the specific question on electric vehicles will be a separate business subsidiary where we already set up a company called Mahindra Electric Limited. So we would see those margins separately. There are in this coming quarter, which is quarter 3, going to be we're not yet going to start billing and sales, but we will, for some models, may start some production, so there will be some depreciation costs which will come in. And there will, of course, be some marketing costs which are there, plus manpower costs. So quarter 3 will have some, upfront leading into launch kind of expenses, but that will be in a separate company. It won't affect the standalone margins that we see in M&M Limited. It'll flow into the consolidated numbers.
You've also indicated some slowdown in the urban markets, sir. Could you, quantify that or put some nuance to it?
Yeah, so I think the urban market stress, so to use that, if one were to use that term, has been there for the last few quarters. We haven't seen too much of that on the M&M SUV portfolio because the products have been new and there's been strong, robust demand. But if we were to compare it with 12 to 18 months back, certainly the buoyancy is not as seamless as it was 12 to 18 months back. But that we believe may have been affected for multiple reasons as well. We, had a quarter 1 where there were elections, there was heat waves in many parts of the country. This time the rains have been heavy in many parts of the country as well. So, hopefully the festival season was good in urban India as well. So hopefully as we get back into the next calendar year, January, we should see a good momentum in the urban areas as well.
All right. Hi, Mr. Jejurikar. Good morning and good to see you in. What about the JV that's being speculated with Volkswagen? Skoda, Auto, Volkswagen. For a while now, there have been reports there's a JV, there's an MOU that's been signed, senior executives of both parties meeting each other. Where's that at?
I think a question was, what about that? So I was actually going to ask the same question back to you. What about that? Nigel, we always say that, and we've been saying that, we do talk to multiple partners in different businesses. There's nothing meaningful at this point of time, which is worth sharing and or at any stage of readiness. So these are conversations that we have with multiple potential partners. So really no update at this point of time on where we may be on such partnerships.
No, got that. I'm gonna throw one more. Maybe I don't know if it's a curveball, but with Trump sweeping the U.S. and with Mr. Musk sort of by his side, do you think the chances of a Tesla in India next year with minimal import duty, I mean, the chances of that are high now? What's your sense?
I think there's already a policy which is very enabling for any new electric player to come into India, and that was the EV policy which was announced a few months back. And we were expecting that Tesla would come in based on that policy, which was a very favorable policy with pretty low import duties on fully built vehicles over a period of time. Of course, there would have to be a commitment to invest in localization and make in India over a period of time. So we would welcome Tesla to come in, and we're sure good, strong competition will help grow the category. So we look forward to that.
But do you think some of those commitments may, with the election outcome, it's all, of course, up in the air. We don't know exactly, but I'm just thinking out loud. Some of those commitments, they got a better negotiating position in that sense. The lowest Tesla model, I think, is about $35,000. I'm not sure what the import duties, etc., would be, but that's about 30 lakh rupees. It's still EVs are still growing nascent category in the country. You were coming up with your product line, and we did report on that earlier. So just wanted your thoughts around it.
Yeah, like I said, firstly in the Indian market, we've seen that anyone who has to succeed has to come in with good products which are exciting to customers. A product which is at the lowest end of a spectrum of anybody, if it's not priced attractively, is not going to do well just because it's a brand A or a B. the brand A or B should be a strong product at a really good price. So I would kind of say that, we welcome competition with new technologies. It would strengthen the ecosystem. And we really believe that strong products and building the EV ecosystem will enable stronger and greater EV penetration.
Just a quick word, personal interest here. You're going to launch your first BEV on the 26th of November. I think deliveries will start only at the beginning of the next calendar year. What's the broad price range that we're looking at?
I think you'll have to wait a little patiently for that.
I'll tell you what, Reema was actually having a look at a couple of those
Now don't make up things, eh?
sample pictures, and I think she's planning on it.
Broad range.
We would love to stay in touch with you on seeing that through. And though they are really wow-looking products with amazing technology, the kind that India hasn't seen before. And, they are built on the electric origin platform, which we call InGlow. And they would really, really provide a very, very differentiated customer experience.
Wow product. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for joining in. We look forward to chatting with you on the, around the time of that launch.